Hey, welcome to another episode of Wake Up and Dream podcast. We are so glad you guys are here listening. And Kelly and Sarah and I were just chatting about our weeks because it's spring here this week. And it's like, everything's new and exciting. And it's almost like we get a breath of fresh air, like, okay, I can do it. I don't have to be stuck. Well, that leads me to our quote of this week is you are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. That's by Wayne Dyer. And it's so true. I know, I can look back in my life, and sometimes those feelings are overwhelming where you just feel like there's no other alternative. I have to stay. I have to stay in this job, or I have to stay in this relationship, or, I will never be able to change how I look, or, all of that. And and it really is something that starts right in our mind. So Kelly, I'd love to hear what you've been discovering about your stuckness with your fitness and health.
Yes, absolutely. So, I have felt stuck, like this burden of not moving my body. I don't know if most of our listeners may or may not know, but we had lived in Colorado our entire lives, my husband and I and our little boy, and we decided to move to Kentucky last July. And it's hard to get into a new routine, and I thrive off routine. That makes me feel unstuck if I know exactly how my day is, what I'm gonna accomplish, how I start my day, when Jace gets on the bus, what dinner is, all the things. Not that I don't like to be spontaneous, but I like to know what I'm doing for the day. And Jace starts school at a different time here in Kentucky than he did in Colorado, so it has thrown off my morning routine with working my business and all the things. And then I've just kind of felt icky and stuck. I've been doing a lot of mindset work, but I haven't been doing the physical part. And it has been tugging at my heart for months, but I keep making excuses not to work out, not to move my body. And I feel like I've had this yucky paradigm, I feel like, that I have to work out for 3 hours to A, feel better, or B, see results. And that's
Mhm.
not really the case. You can work out for 30 minutes. You can watch
Were
Netflix
you
and do a
guys
couple.
really were you really active when you were out in Colorado? I feel like that's like a very active, I don't know. I hear Colorado, I think of like skiing and hiking and all of those things. Were you guys like always doing something out there?
It's funny, we are not skiers, nope. But we do like to be outdoors. I've actually never joined a gym ever. I've
Wow.
always yeah, I've never joined a membership. I've always either just enjoyed being outside. Nature is kind of my spirit, I don't know, spirit thing. I don't know. I just love being outside more, or I work out from home, where I just get on YouTube and find a great gal that I love to follow and just go for it. But I have felt this get out of the house. I think after COVID and the whole thing, I need to get out. I need to get out of the house. I
Yes.
feel stuck.
Yes. And I think as I'm reflecting back is we as a culture literally have been one of my girlfriends called it COVID laziness, meaning we have been almost conditioned to isolate ourselves, to, you know, kind of go, oh, I don't think I want to go, out here. I don't, yeah, I don't really need to do that. But anything that gets you out and moving, we really have been almost conditioned that that is now a lot of work. Like it's a burden, to do that. Before, I think we were more flexible with, hey, yeah, I'm meeting so and so. Yes, I'm gonna take a walk here. I'm gonna do this. And now it's like Netflix, bag of popcorn, and let's just chill because that's what we had to do for the bulk of those couple of years, you know? I think it's a real thing.
So it's almost like it's two different things now, because now, like if you're talking about going out to see your friends or going for a walk around the lake or whatever it is, there's that mental strain almost because you're so out of practice with like socialization, and there's the physical aspect. So you're getting it from both sides, and it's like exhausting thinking about doing stuff like that, you know?
That's like the fear
Yes.
of doing something for the very first time when it's not necessarily the very first time. Like, it's not that I've never not worked out. It was just a new environment and new people, and I'm going to see people. And what are they going to think of me? And, all those things run through your head, whether it's the gym or meeting a girlfriend for coffee. Like, how do you sit in front of somebody
So tell
now?
us about your morning, Kelly. So you kind of got out of that a
So
little bit this morning.
I did. Last night, my husband and I just talked about why don't I go try the gym? He has guest passes and I can go with him and I can see all the equipment. I can see what they offer, and just kind of take a tour. And I'll be honest, because I've never been in one, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I just feel like there's so many people that are judging you because they look better than you or they've been going for, a year. Um, and I had fear big time. Like, I was just stuck. And even you could ask my husband, like, it was so funny because he kept explaining all the equipment. Like, this is kind of for your legs. This is over here. You can work your abs. This section is the treadmills. And the whole time I'm making excuses. Well, it's just too much. The whole time I was there, like, just, well, that's way over there. And I don't know what this, machine does. And then he took me over to this little area where you can do this 30-minute workout and it has all the equipment. This is my jam. It's labeled 1 through 20. It's all timed. You get a minute and a half at each station,
There's
and
no
it's
decision
planned.
making. It's a plan. It's mapped out for you.
Totally. Yes, sign me up. And then I just like blossomed because I got out of my comfort zone. I just went for it. Like, I can do a 1-minute session of something and then move to the next one and then move to the next one. And by the end of the session, 30 minutes later, I was just lit up because I didn't feel stuck anymore. Like, I just did it. I ripped off the band-aid, I got on equipment and moved my body. And now I feel like $1,000,000. Like, I'm still in my workout gear because it's just inspiring me to be like, moving my body every day, and I can't wait to go back tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes. So I can relate to that story because I have been really working on the mental end of it because what you just said is, you decided to do something different. It was a decision. You might not have felt all of the feels, right? But you decided that you needed to move for the benefit of you on many levels. For me, um, it's a matter of flipping my mind from should to I get to. And I'm on like day 11. So you guys are gonna know this. I am doing like a challenge for eating and 10 minutes of like whatever the high intensity kind of thing, similar to yours, but mine is just 10 minutes. In my mantra is anybody can do 10 minutes, Lisa. Anybody can do 10 minutes. When you think about it that way, I'm like, okay, anybody can do 10 minutes.
My
And
husband
that
said that
has,
at the gym. We were looking around and he's like, "Man, isn't it sad to think someone can't just do 20 minutes twice a week? Whether it's here at the gym or at home. Like, it doesn't
yep,
have to be intense, but we just tell ourselves we can't do it or we shouldn't do it or it's not the perfect time or all these excuses. But
right.
really, you can. You definitely can."
Yeah, you definitely can, for sure. And for me, um, like you don't see the benefits. The first 2 days of doing this 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes, I was like crying walking down the stairs. My legs were like, "Ah, you have muscles." What? I have muscles? I didn't know this because, I didn't feel them until they were all aching. And and my girlfriend who's also doing the challenge, she's like, "Oh yeah, the first week is killer, but just keep going because, the rewards are coming, right?" But it was that decision that I wanted something more for me. It wasn't like, "Oh, Lisa, you should eat better, you should exercise, you should take care of yourself, you should," because that just makes me feel guilty. It makes me put shame on myself, and I get nowhere when my mindset lives there, except heading to the couch with my bag of popcorn and turning on Netflix, right? I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah. You said two things, Lisa. I'll see if I can remember both things. One of them was you said I get to instead of like
Mhm.
I have to, like that kind of mindset. And the other thing was like feeling like you should, like these things you need to do. I'm going to stick on this like workout conversation we're having right now. And this next comment might not be an opinion that is shared widely, but I actually struggle a lot with some of the idea that you need to work out every day and the programs that are like 7 days a week. And the thing that I found for me personally, and I work out from home. I went to the gym years and years and years ago, but I like doing home workouts. Um, and a lot of the workouts, the programs that I love are like every day. But I've made a commitment to myself to do 3, 4, maybe 5 days a week. I do not put that need on me because then you miss one day and it changes yourself. You start feeling like, I missed a day. I can't believe I missed a day. This workout was 7 days. And that is not, I don't care. Like, it's not about being physically fit at that point. Like, it makes you feel badly if you miss a day. And I have a real big problem with that. So I changed it for myself. And my husband and I, we work out together and we do our own calendar. And we kind of have our own workouts that we have set. And if we miss a day, we like celebrate that we missed a day. We're like, okay, it's all right. We'll do it again tomorrow. Like we'll pick up from where we wanted to be, today. We'll do that tomorrow. And we don't put that pressure on us.
I completely agree because it's like that's what kind of set me off, and I felt stuck because I did say like I can't commit 3 hours 5 days a week, like that's just not going to happen. But I don't know if you guys have caught it too, but our coach Julie Ciardi, she set a goal for herself that she's what she called it. I'm going to move my body every day. So if that's a walk, if that's throwing the football with your son, or going to the gym. So maybe you only go to the gym and work out, or at home with weights twice a week, but then you walk to the lake like you were saying, or go on a hike or ride your bike. Like it doesn't have to be a strict routine to get in your daily exercise or just to move your body. It gets your heart
Yes.
going. Like my mind was so clear the second exercise in, and I just
Mhm,
wanted more because it
mhm,
felt so good to have
mhm.
that action and feel my heart beating at a
Right.
different rate than it has for 9 months, let's be
r-
honest.
Right. And I'm not an expert on the science end of it, but that the happy chemicals, the endomorphins that get released when we do exercise, and the decrease in the release of cortisone. Cortisone is like our stress hormone along with adrenaline. And I've been doing some research about how increased cortisone, um, you can increase your cortisone, you don't even probably realize it, through chronic stress, like just not taking the time to get out, take a walk, clear your head, do something for you. And that increase in cortisone has a direct link to disease like cancer, like immune deficiencies, like crazy stuff, right? So that piece of, maybe you've always pictured yourself. I think my mental picture, sometimes I play with my mental picture and I go, so who is it that I want to look like, right? What do I want to show up when I look in the mirror? What is it, the picture? And if I go, well, you know, I don't really care. I don't care if I get fat and I gain 20 pounds. Well, that's a mindset, right? Because then you're not going to want to do anything because you've basically decided that status quo is fine, which we know, I know from COVID, status quo means you gain weight. So even if you think you're going to just maintain, it just keeps going up. It's crazy. But then deciding, for me, I just posted on my Instagram about creating that vision of my future self. And my future self looks good in Spanx leather leggings, right? So so I keep that literally like that picture of that Spanx leggings right there so that I go, okay, anyone can do 10 minutes. I get to do this. I am going to look awesome in those leggings. And
Yeah, you
I
are.
literally
I can't
I
wait to see you up
literally
on stage, Lisa.
but I literally have to jazz myself, like, cheerleader, powwow, get the pom poms out for that because I like to lay in bed. I like to
It always
sleep
comes back to
in.
that desire. That desire is
Right.
what is getting you out of bed to do that. It's really like finding out, like getting out of bed just because you have to work out or because you get to work out. Even that's not strong enough. But that
Right.
desire to get on stage, like sporting those Spanx leggings with your heel,
Amen.
yeah, that is going to get you out of bed and get you to do those 10 minutes.
And that's what I'm literally like have in my mind, that vision, how good I'm gonna feel because of the work that I've put in today and every day. Or, I agree with you. Like, you don't have to kill yourself every day, but to move, yes, definitely movement every
Yes,
day.
and it's not really too, and I like our listeners to get this point as well. Like, I have an activewear business, so I sell leggings and sports bras and sports gear to many, 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 many women. And it's not about the feedback I get. It's not about the size that they're ordering. It's about how they feel. So whether it's what you're wearing or what you're doing physically on a daily basis, we may not lose any weight. We may not have that six pack. We may not like get those toned legs and booty when we're working out, but it's how we feel that makes the biggest difference because then it gives us that confidence. We hold our head up a little bit higher because we just feel different and we feel good regardless of the size, regardless if we've gone to a home gym or an actual physical gym or just been walking through our neighborhood on a daily basis. Like it's how we feel that makes a huge, huge difference, I think.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. And, feeling is the secret. And that was what I wrote about because it wasn't just, "Oh, that's nice. I hope that happens," or "I really, I wish I was thinner and, more in shape." That's just a passing thought. And what, Sarah, you were digging into, it boils down to, what do you want? What is that burning desire? And then allow yourself, and we don't do this, at least in my history, I don't allow myself often to take the time to use my imagination and play out the scene in the future of what I want my body to look like, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling about myself. That is a practice, honestly, and it really taps into the emotion because if it's just a conscious thinking, it doesn't have any stick power, right? Our emotions are, it's like the gas in the engine, for sure.
And I feel like there's been like two common themes in our discussion here. One is just that desire, like you just said, Lisa, and then the other is decision around that desire. So at first, you need to understand exactly what you're going after and have that really, really strong desire to get there. And again, that has to be something that will like get you out of bed. And then you just decide to do it. and you have to make that decision to be like, okay, this is where I'm going with this.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I was thinking, it might not be the physical or what we look like or feel, but I think oftentimes another area that people feel stuck in is their finances, right? They just feel like they're never going to get out of debt, or they're never going to be able to take that family vacation, or they're never, that is a pattern of thinking. And the first step is to like heighten that awareness to go, hmm, I wonder why I'm thinking that. I wonder why I feel like we'll never be able to be out of debt. That's a feeling of being very stuck, but it doesn't help you, because it's that should. It's that. But the minute we heighten our awareness, and I had a girlfriend. Well, actually, it was Julie Ciardi, and I was not happy with the cupboards that my husband had purchased, and she just like flat out. She didn't shake me physically, but she shook me mentally, and she said, "Lisa, if you're not happy, then go figure out what it's gonna cost to get the ones you want, and then figure out a way to get the money to get them." And all of a sudden, I went from feeling like I was stuck with the cupboards that I didn't want to, "You're right. You're right. I just need to take responsibility and figure it out." Because once you decide that's what you want, all the creative juices on how that money is going to happen. Maybe it's an extra job, maybe it's babysitting, maybe it's, starting a direct sales business to make a couple $100. There's a lot of different things that can open up, but if you allow, and that's the thing that I think I didn't realize, I was allowing myself to feel like the victim, like, oh, I just have to put up with these cupboards that I don't want. And she was like,
Victim mentality, I feel like, is such a a thing. I feel like I so many people fall into that, and you
yeah,
really
it's
like,
a big thing.
yeah, and you, like you said, you just have to, you have that awareness. You have to just make that decision and see that you're not stuck. You
Right.
have, it's that's huge. The awareness there is so huge.
And I think sometimes we need people that we trust in our life that are not going to go, "Oh, I'm so sorry that he did that," and yada, 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 yada. And I mean, I was so grateful. I didn't maybe, like it in the moment, but because I respect Julie so much, I took it and I was like, she's right. She's right. I don't have to stay stuck. And that was liberating. Like, literally that night, I went and picked out the cupboards that I wanted and got the price sheet, and we're in process of putting in the cupboards that I want right now. So it's
You're making it happen.
we're making it happen because I'm choosing not to be stuck,
And
for
just
sure.
making that decision, right? Like it's something you want
Mhm.
to do, whether it's cupboards, working out, writing a book, starting a new business, just decide and show up as her doing it and take the steps to do it. Um, I think is huge because I pondered working out for months until and I made every excuse under the sun. And then I just decided like tomorrow morning, I am waking up and doing it, just like you did with the cupboards. I am going to figure out a way to make it happen. Like you just do. Or if you are in a job, like I can't leave the current job I'm in now. I am stuck. I feel stuck. However, what can I do? Whether it will take 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, but what steps can I take today to get closer to what I'm actually wanting? Because us as women, us as moms, I feel like it's easy to feel stuck and that becomes your norm and you're on autopilot and You make all the excuses why you can't go to the gym. It's too expensive. It takes too much time. Oh, I could be doing something else. I work full time, or all these things. Writing a book, like, I don't know what to write. I don't know who would publish it. I don't know who would read it. Like, you're just playing out these scenarios in your mind that don't really even exist. You're making them up, which is stalling your progress. And you're making yourself feel more stuck. And if we start to recognize when those triggers, I call them triggers, come up, where I don't have enough money, or no one's going to follow me, or no one's going to trust me with this book idea, or whatever, like, you're making that up. Just go for it, be authentic, and do it for you. And people are going to see how amazing you're doing and how you're changing, and be inspired. That's what I feel like doing. My word for the year 2022 is to inspire people, to inspire, whether with whatever it is, being a better mom.
I think you're doing great with it already, Kelly.
Well, thanks. We all are, because we are surrounding ourselves with women who want the same thing. And I think that's super powerful as well.
For sure, for sure. So we wanted to recommend a book that we have all enjoyed, and that is Think and Grow Rich. Sara has her copy handy, and there's a chapter in there called Desire.
Yes,
And
it's early on. Chapter 2 is called Desire.
yes, and then there's another one called Decision.
Yep.
And this is like a really, really, like, if you want to just change the neurons that are firing and wake up to feeling that you have a choice to become unstuck, there's tons of nuggets of wisdom in that book, for sure.
And it's interesting because I don't know about you guys, and how you study, but this book in particular, it's not one that I've been able to necessarily read straight through, because it is the way that it's written.
Right.
It takes a lot of thought, and I don't know, the way that it's written is difficult for me to read straight through. But I'll open up the Desire chapter when I feel like I need it, and that one I've read a few times. And it really is an amazing, like, tool that I'm like, I feel like I'm struggling in this area. How can I help get myself unstuck? And I'll just flip to that chapter and read through it. So it's definitely, you could use it more as like a reference even than like a novel.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's not one you're going to read and then put on the shelf and say, "Well, that was a nice book." No, it's one you're going to read over and over and over, and you don't need to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
All of that. You got it.
Well, gals, this was so awesome. I loved this conversation. It's so great how when we first start talking about a quote and what we want to talk about, and how it goes to a totally different topic, and what we're, expressing to all of you, our amazing listeners. I just hope you got something out of it today, to have that desire and then decide to just not feel stuck anymore, and doing it for you. Do it for you, because your kids are watching, to set that good example for them. And it's okay to struggle. It's okay to feel stuck. However, it's not okay to stay there. So having that desire, is super, super important. So if you are famous, awesome listeners, love this episode, don't forget to share it on social media. If you want to follow us, we are on Instagram at Wake Up and Dream Podcast. Today's quote, the book recommendation will also be in our show notes, and ways to follow us and connect with the three of us if you feel led to do so. But again, thanks y'all for listening this week, and have a great one.